everybody. Welcome back to Unfiltered and Unashamed. We are here today to kind of go over more questions from listeners. I will give you our honest, unfiltered,
raw opinion.
That's right. I feel like for myself, this week has just been a little bit of an overload of adulting and responsibility. So I'm very happy to be here, have some time to just be in a good space with good energy.
Yeah.
Doing this week.
It's getting better. This week's much better than last week.
Wow.
I mean, It's amazing what 100-degree difference in temperature
within 5 days
can do for your mood. It's astonishing. I think practically this week's probably been more logistically difficult. But last week, mentally, it was rough because it was so cold and dark.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Always something.
At least it wasn't together.
No, that's true. It didn't all crash at the same time.
So let's just get right into it. What do we have today? There's 3 questions you've got.
Today, we have questions sort of about aging and how one may feel about their body changes as they move into midlife and whatever comes after this.
Well, sit down and buckle up.
It's going to be rough.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, number 1, because I know you and I have talked about this outside of this multiple times. Okay, so today we're going to talk about questions related to the theme of aging and the changes that occur within and appearance-wise for our bodies. So I think this is really relevant, and I'm sure we're not the only ones.
I know.
Struggling mentally with this. So, first question is, I'm struggling with weight gain. I know I should love my body, but I don't. How do I balance self-acceptance with wanting to make changes?
Well, that's hard. That is very hard. I can give, I don't know. I don't know how you do. I mean, I really think I appreciate my body, and it came to me with age. Maybe this may not be the best way to look at it. Maybe it's because I realized what it was and that it's not that anymore. And like in my youth, and the fact that now I'm going, man, I wish I would have appreciated it then. Trying to keep myself in a space, and I won't say positive space all the time, but not saying the negative words to myself about my body helps. And then when I find myself doing it, I stop, because I know that's something I've talked to people about, is when you have those conversations with yourself that are, you would never say those things to anyone else.
Absolutely not.
And why we treat ourselves worse than anybody else we know is really sad, actually. It's one more thing that you don't need to put guilt on yourself.
It's not going to be helpful.
No.
Talking shit to yourself about yourself.
It's not I mean, it's actually, but yes, and it can take you back. I mean, it's
not a
step back for sure. And I think people, they preach the love your body, be happy in your body, love the skin you're in. And love is a strong word. It's a very strong word. And I think it's overused, because I can appreciate my body every day. I don't know if I'm going to love now. And when I say body, I'm talking about physical and not movement, and not ability, not body ability, body appearance. And I think that's what this question is kind of going off of as well. And so every day I might not be like, oh, this isn't looking good today. And then the next day I might feel better about it. I think our cycle also plays a part in that.
Sure.
And how we feel about it. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, my first thought, I think we would be remiss to not mention that, when we were in high school, the expectation for body type at that time was the Kate Moss heroin chic.
If we were techie enough, we would hold up the pictures of what we were taught
was the quote unquote like norm ideal,
which is
underweight,
right?
Sickly underweight.
Well, and then just I know I've kind of been bombing you with these lately, but the way that they made it
the public shaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was okay. Walking up to somebody and going, you gained weight.
Right.
What are you going to do about that?
It was all over the media too. I just saw a short video of an interview with Kate Winslet, who refused to fall in herself.
Yeah.
And fall into that. And the backlash against her, she's gorgeous.
Well,
she has a gorgeous body.
yes, she's flawed. I mean, really,
You know,
like,
I mean,
porcelain skin, what I would
she's
do.
a gorgeous woman.
And what's really frustrating for myself, and I know I'm probably not alone here either, is that because it is put out there, I fell into it. Not necessarily, well, yes, I wanted to look like that. I was never able, obviously, to look like a supermodel or an edited picture or whatnot. But I remember, do you remember the Jessica Simpson? So she was in the Dukes of Hazzard and was probably in the best, when I say shape of her life, I mean she was working out. Like you could tell she was
very well toned.
Yes, very muscular, and it was being flaunted all over, right? It was all over,
marketed.
And maybe 6 months later or whatever, then they blasted all those pictures. Everyone knows it. It's the blue mom jeans with the big buckled belt and a white fitted tank. Jessica Simpson is fat. She's gained weight. She's let herself go. What happened? And I distinctly remember being like, oh, like, wow, like, why would, like, now I'm like, that's kind of shitty. But it was also what was being
told.
Yeah, it was what was being told to me how to feel about that. And, you know, you look at them now and she was not fat. She was probably not even much different than when she was in Dukes of Hazzard. It's the clothing that she was wearing, the angles that the pictures were taken at. Because first off, if she pays a stylist a lot of
airbrushing,
right,
editing,
right,
and with AI who freaking knows what's right now,
right. And so I am glad we've kind of moved past that, but it's hard. It's hard to
So we had that messaging in high school, which was basically starve yourself. And if you have to use drugs to get as soon as possible, go for it. And now the role models and standards are more like Kardashian, right? So very curvy, voluptuous, etc. Also not realistic for the normal average person.
Right. Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we've shifted from starve yourself to you have to love your body. Now there's just so much pressure about accepting your body so fully, and there's maybe something in the middle, right?
We are never allowed to feel like we are not in the wrong. Meaning, oh, you're too fat. Oh, you know what? You have to love your body. If you don't love your body, you're not good. You're not a good enough, you know, you're not being good enough to yourself.
Yeah.
So they guilt you either way. They guilt you for loving your body and being too proud of your body. Why would she wear that?
Yeah.
And then they tell you, you know, if you're too boastful, it's bad. If you're not boastful enough, it's bad. And so there's just no win. And I think you just have to find a space, no matter if you love your physical image or not, try your best to remember that that is not all of who you are.
I think that's good advice. And also, like, what's more important than any of that is how do you feel in your body?
Right.
Pay attention to how you feel in your body. Do you feel strong? Do you feel capable? Do you feel flexible? Does this food make you feel good? Does this food make you not feel good?
Does this situation make you feel anxious? Does this situation make you feel uncomfortable? Or stressed out? Or
it's about loving and accepting what your body can do for you. Loving and accepting what your body can do for you does not also negate that you can make changes to your body.
I think that's very important.
It's not really an either or.
Right.
It can be both.
Yeah. I think something we all have to just keep in the back of our minds to not beat ourselves up, even though that's kind of what we're taught to do. So, okay, let's move on. Okay. My gray hair and wrinkles don't bother me, but I feel pressured to keep up with beauty standards. Is it possible to age naturally and still feel attractive?
Well, I would say I'm probably not the best person to answer that question because my gray hair and wrinkles do bother me. If those things don't bother you, that's amazing. Like I envy that position. I know for me, I'm really struggling with my appearance as I age, as far as wrinkles and changes in skin elasticity and all the things. Gravity. So I would say if they don't bother you, like embrace it, because I think there are probably a lot more women out there looking at you thinking, I wish
I was that comfortable.
I was that comfortable and confident with my aging.
Or I wish I looked that good with gray hair. I hear people say that all the time. I say that. I'm like, I wish I would look that good if I had gray hair. Well, I don't know that I don't. I don't have the courage. I don't even know it's courage. I don't know.
I'm mentally not ready.
Yeah, there's that.
Something about that feels like a turning point or milestone that I'm not quite ready to go there.
Well, I started graying at 18. I've been covering it for years because when you're 29, most people just don't want to have gray hair. And so I have been covering it for years and now it's gray. People don't believe me. It is gray. I just stopped last week before we recorded to buy some spray to spray my hair because my hair doesn't get colored until next week. So because it's that bad. So I don't know if I'm the best to answer the question either, except if you're comfortable with your gray hair and your wrinkles, maybe trying to focus in on what is making it hard for you to stay on your path.
Maybe part of it is, where is that pressure coming from? Are there
Right.
people in your life, if that's your friends, that are putting pressure on you?
Yeah.
Might be time to disengage from that relationship
Yeah.
and or set boundaries, right? If it's
Mhm.
other people in your family saying like, hey, I appreciate your concern, but I got this,
Mhm.
in a stern yet kind way, it could be helpful. If it's the media,
It's fake.
it's fake.
What they put out there for us to see and think that we are supposed to even have the ability to
decipher what's
real and
actually real.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
I think they've been lying to us for years.
which is scary because, you know, when we were kids, you could see it. Like, if you saw it, you could believe it,
Mhm.
right? That was a big thing.
Mhm.
And now it's like, man, not necessarily just because I saw it with my own eyes doesn't mean it's real.
Right. Well, and Pamela Anderson currently is doing this whole thing. And I think so many people are applauding her. And I think that's fantastic. But I do feel like there are just phases in our life that people want to feel different ways. So if Pamela Anderson in her younger years was good with flaunting her body and being naked, and
although we were absolutely terrible to her,
yeah,
culturally, socially, media, etc.
Yeah.
When you mentioned Pam Anderson and the idea that she was in this phase where it was a lot of plastic surgery, a lot of makeup, a lot of styling, etc., and now she's going for the whole natural thing. She's in different stages of her life, and what we maybe want to embrace at one point may look different at another point, and that's okay. You don't have to lock into something when you're 20 and have an expectation that you're going to carry that style or whatever or throughout your life.
Just appearance.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, she's obviously maybe an anomaly with the fact that she obviously can be confident, right, in any space that she's in. I mean, so that's another thing too. So, I mean, I don't know. Be you.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
just be you. And if you want to color your hair purple, I may not understand why you want your hair purple. It doesn't hurt me at all. It doesn't hurt anyone else at all. Do what feels good to you. Just do what makes you,
do what helps you feel,
and good,
confident.
I'm gonna, and yeah. All right, what's the next question?
So this one kind of dovetails really well to that question. I used to feel confident, but now I just feel invisible. How do I reclaim my self-worth in a world that seems to glorify the young?
So I feel like I mentioned this to you a while back.
We talked about invisibility.
Basically, I said, at this age, we don't get the looks. We don't get looks while I'm driving in my vehicle from the opposite sex.
No one's waving from the next car.
Right. So you're not getting any little toot toot honks. A big thing I remember driving on the interstate, truckers would stare and that sort of thing. And
I'm not saying this is all positive attention.
Correct.
It's being noticed.
Right. Yes. It's not necessarily positive. It is stuff that is being noticed that it no longer is happening. And unfortunately, because when you're younger, that attention is, I think people want attention most of their life.
Affirming.
Yes. There you go. That's a perfect word for it. I was like, that's not happening anymore. And you said, well, maybe you're not noticing it. And I said, no, it's not happening anymore. And I'm not obviously upset about it. I think it's like you're closing a chapter. The hardest part is that knowing that I'm no longer in that part of my life. And I say that about people with kids who they say, oh, you're going to miss this. Someday you're going to miss this. Yes, I will miss that time of my life. I will miss being in my 30s and having energy and
walking through the bar.
Yes. I mean, so you
getting a wink or a look or whatever.
I get up and walk around anywhere anymore. And it's like, excuse me, ma'am, so that's hard. So it is closing a chapter. You have to realize that you as a human being are not invisible, especially to the people who are important to you in your life. But because our bodies just naturally age and change, that's what glorifies the youth, I think, because we look back on it so endearingly, like it was just this fantastic time. And so therefore, if we were younger, if we looked younger, we would be happier. With age and aging bodies and aging faces, I think we lose something. When you are younger, you have generally less responsibility, less stress, less just anything across the board. Your life is calmer, generally calmer,
which allows for more time to
Well,
out.
But I think even where I'm going with it is it just, we glorify that. Right. It's a whole chapter. And that's why it's just glorified. It's not just appearance, but that is what we go to because that's what you see outwardly. I mean, that's kind of my take on that. That chapter closed for me. And it doesn't matter. I think if you're on the extreme side of appearance in your 50s, 60s, you're going to get looks and attention. An extreme in not a bad way, just in not the norm for that age range. You'll get that attention then. But if you're not, you're with us. You're with the rest of us and you're not invisible. I see you.
Yeah, absolutely. The second part of that question is, how do I reclaim my self-worth? You know, there's a lot of really great things, and we've touched on it before with one of our questions we had in another episode. There's a lot that comes with just living and experiencing and trusting in yourself to take care of yourself and gaining wisdom. And it's important to also consider those things. What helps you to feel worthy to yourself? It doesn't matter outside of that, what other people may or may not deem worthy. So that's just another aspect to point out is like, yeah, that was really fun. And also we did some dumb shit. And, you know, I maybe made a couple mistakes that are still affecting me 20, 30, 40 years later. And here I am, older, wiser, more experienced. Makes me think of that scene in Fried Green Tomatoes. Tawanda.
That was such a great movie. I feel we're like rewatch that.
We should.
Are we her age?
I think we're her age.
I feel like we should rewatch it. We should have a girls' night and rewatch Fried Green Tomatoes because I probably only caught a quarter of what they were.
Was really there.
Yeah. Wowza. Because I'm pretty sure it was all based on like menopause.
I mean, the whole thing was
aging. Yeah. We'll have to do a little.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do like a review. Watch it and do a review or something for Fun Friday.
Yeah. That'd be fun. Cool. Okay. I have zero energy lately and I don't know if it's stress, menopause, or just getting older. How do I get my spark back?
So my number one recommendation is that if you do not get an annual physical, or if it's been a while since you've gotten an annual physical
with fasting labs,
go get a physical, get your fasting labs, because there are a lot of things that can shift hormonally and otherwise as you're moving into your 40s with perimenopause and all of that, that you have to rule out a medical condition.
Yeah, for sure. The most important thing is to make sure that your body is not the actual cause.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because there's just a lot of stuff that can come with that. So I would say rule out that there's anything medically going on. And if there is something medical going on, hopefully it's relatively easy fix, right? But better to know sooner rather than later. And then my recommendation outside of that is to kind of do a review of what is it that makes you spark, right? Is it time outside? Is it time with friends? Is it gardening? Is whatever hobby? And make a point to engage in that on a regular.
We stop doing things that we find joy in because we run out of time in the day. And so sometimes if what does bring you that spark, that kind of inner happiness is hard to do at your stage of life, try to find a version of it. So you said gardening. Well, you can't garden all year long.
Not where we live anyway.
Right. And I also have indoor plants, but you can only do so many indoor plants. My sister has so many indoor plants. I think she says it takes her like 2 or 3 hours to water when she has to do a whole day of watering, which I just don't understand that. But that's what makes her spark. So she finds that very joyful. And so she has created a space in her home to have these things. But also listen to a podcast on gardening.
Right.
Find a great book about gardening. Look at your local nurseries. I know this is very focused on gardening, but it's just because it's an
Yeah,
easy
no, it's an easy. Yeah, walk through a local nursery.
or a lot of them do, and this is along with anything, they will do the weekly pop-up events where you can kind of go be amongst people who also have that. I think that's important because we run out of time to do the things that we want to do that make us happy.
And schedule it. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, if you have to put it on your calendar, schedule it.
I think, and for me, I drink a lot of caffeine, an unhealthy amount of caffeine. Working on that, I have days that are better than others. And I know myself, I don't get enough sleep. I don't feel like I'm alone in the sense that I get to bed and I can't
Fall asleep.
So that's hard when you have, as most of us do at this age of our life, we're going all day long. And you think about kids or younger people and we always say, I wish I just had just a tenth of their energy. Well, then think the opposite direction of if you had a parent or a grandparent and they are trying to do something that is going to cause them harm. What are you going to say to them? You just can't do all the things that you used to do. Stop. Our bodies just get older. We don't have the same amount of energy to work out at 5 a.m., get our morning routine, whatever it may be, off and running without a hitch, go to our work or whatever our daily responsibilities are, come home, create that evening routine, however and whatever it looks with you, amongst doing all of the other adulting things that go along with life. You have to realize that, unfortunately, we just can't do it all. Making sure that you give yourself acceptance in that and grace. Yes. It doesn't mean you can't do it, period. It means not all in with
different time. You were 20.
Right.
I think that one thing in order for us to kind of have our spark or our energy back is to make sure that you're taking care of the basics, right? So good sleep hygiene is really important. Eating healthy foods is important. Hydrating is important. Getting some movement is important. Take a shower. Those they seem like really basic things, but that's true self-care. And if you're not attending to those things, it's hard to be present for the moments that are going to spark joy.
I mean, that says a lot because I feel like we forget to do the minor things sometimes.
There are sometimes easy things to just shove to the side when you're running through your day.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Is this her last one? I feel like I'm too young to be old, but too old to be young. How do I embrace this weird in-between stage of life?
I say go for it. Go for whatever.
What do you mean?
Go for whatever. Like the first thought that comes to my mind is where am I supposed to buy clothes now? Right? Probably have outaged American Eagle, but I'm certainly not at like Chico's yet. So where am I supposed to shop?
I was leaving the gym the other day and one of the people that I was in class with knew somebody that they were walking by and she's like, oh, I love your leggings. Costco. I have a pair too. And she was like, I love Costco. Wow. We are at the age guilty. I bought leggings at Costco. I bought sweatshirts at Costco. It's easy. I'm already there. And that's how it happens. Because I don't know where to shop.
Right.
We don't get to go to Target anymore. They do not fit our vibe. I don't know what Target is doing. That's a whole nother episode. And again, American Eagle, Forever 21. I don't know if that still exists. I would feel like a grandma walking into Forever 21.
Right.
There's no way. There's no way.
Right.
But again, on the flip side, I don't really want to be at, I don't even know some of them. I mean, Chico's or
I don't even know.
I don't know
either.
Catalogs. I don't want to be a catalog shop. I want to be a catalog. Do those still exist? Maybe for the elder. I feel like the elder. Oh my God, we're crushing elder territory. But I feel like my mom would get random catalogs of clothing that are just happen to be a certain style for obviously a certain age group.
Does it come out with your AARP catalog?
I think maybe that's when you get on the list.
I don't know. My mom shops at Kohl's and Penny's.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. I mean,
I don't either.
Yeah. I don't really shop a whole lot anymore either. But when does the transition to colored trousers? Is that going to be our Are we gonna go through that? I'm assuming everyone knows. My grandma she had her colored slacks. She called slacks, and they were polyester. I'm assuming some sort of. They were not jean material. and they were not cotton. And she had her slacks and her specific, her blouse that she would wear. Or her camisole, is that what they're called? Like underneath? Like, is our generation going to go through that?
I forgot the matching sweater.
She was more of a sweat. She kind of wouldn't, she did blouses. But yes, she had some blazers
Like
too.
Blazers and cardigans.
But blazers, I think that's because she bought a lot of her stuff. I think very tail end of 80s is when she probably stopped shopping. And I think that was kind of the stuff. Because they were like the longer blazers with the shoulder pads and whatnot. I don't know if we'll accept getting there.
I'll tell you what, though, we're going to be, I guess we could be 70 rocking the low rise skinny jeans
God,
with their,
Lord help
with
me.
their back tats out.
I don't have a back tat. Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. I
have so many tattoos.
Yeah, no, I don't. But it terrifies me to see what that would look like. Low rise jeans on 70-year-old pluses. No, thank you.
I actually don't want to wear them now, so I don't
either.
I would wear them when I'm 70.
Right.
But yeah.
Are we going to be in the leisure wear? Yoga pants.
We've been in leisure wear since COVID.
I love that.
I suppose.
I love that it's been accepted as everyday wear.
I suppose we'll just keep wearing it.
I would, because I don't want to wear jeans forever. And I mean, why would we're not going to go dressier. We're not going to like all of a sudden go and feel like we need to wear more dresses as we're older. That would be kind of ridiculous. I'm probably not going to want my legs out for everyone to see with my varicose veins.
No, I have wrinkles on my knees.
You know, when I spray tan people, I started in this business in my early 20s. Mm-hmm. And generally, your clientele grows with you if you've been in the business for a long time. So when it started dawning on me that I needed to ask people to bend their elbows and bend their knees when I tan them and to lift the girls, was because I got a spray tan and I was like, oh no, I have elbow wrinkles that you don't even know are there, but they're there. Right. And that was never an issue that I had before. But yeah, there's wrinkles everywhere. It kind of happens. But I mean, I guess stay tuned to see what we look like in 30 years.
But my advice would be whatever it is that you want to try or to do or to wear,
do it.
Go for it. Who gives a fuck?
I mean, well, I don't know why we care.
Well, don't harm other people, but like otherwise, who cares?
I think some of the best words I've heard, this was years ago that someone had said to me, was most of the time when you are worried about what you look like, no one else notices because they're worried about what they look like. And I would say that's true for myself. If anything, I will look at someone and be like, oh, I wish I looked like that. It's more in a positive. Those are the people I notice. I noticed the ones I was like, ooh, I wish I had myself more put together like her today or whatever. I'm not noticing the ones that are that I would think would be not good because I'm too worried about myself not appearing the way that I want.
It's a great point.
We just need to stop. Get out of our damn heads.
Really, like no one thinks about us as much as
we do. You mean we're not that important to everybody? Probably not. No.
I think that wraps up our questions for today.
So we appreciate you coming and chatting with us. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at unfiltered.unashamed. Hit us up on YouTube at Unfiltered Unashamed.
Like and subscribe.
That's important. Also on Spotify. You can find us on Spotify. Send us any questions that you would like us to kind of touch on
or add to the comments. And if you would prefer to remain completely anonymous, you are welcome to email us at unfilteredunashamed@gmail.com.
And we will keep it completely. Unless you don't want to be.
In which case, just say I can use my name.
Yeah. So we hope everyone has a great rest of their week and do something that you find joy in.
Yeah.
Just, give yourself some time and some grace.
Always give yourself a lot of grace.
Especially as we get older.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.